It is pretty cool getting the chance to see Halo hyped online again. That Halo Infinite multiplayer reveal trailer did a pretty good job re-putting in some wind in the sails, we should say, for Infinite. The first reveal was pretty bleak, and now when I look online, the stoke is so high. You've got content creators and streamers and my Twitter timeline of people who don't even play Halo who are talking about it, getting excited for it, diving into MCC. I'm seeing more clips, and overall, these are the good times. If you've been around in Halo for the last while, you know you got to hold on to these hype moments. And I'm definitely feeling this underlying energy and this question in videos and in streams. Is Halo about to return? That's really what it feels like to me. And genuinely, I think we are really close. If Infinite's a good game, like I do genuinely believe, yeah, Halo could probably return. What does that mean though? Like, what does that mean to different people? Probably a lot of things. Initially, I think most folks' minds jumped to Halo 3, right? The game grossed 300 million in its first week. I think it eventually sold over 14.5 million copies. It was huge. It was a cultural phenomenon. I don't know if Infinite's going to get back to that. There's so many factors that have to line up, so many stars, man, that have to just be in unison. I don't know if that's what we're talking about. But for me, Halo returning genuinely means it being a staple FPS game, sitting in the top 3 rows on Twitch, and for the next, 5 years, that actually being a game that new players and existing players in the FPS world consider seriously as their main FPS game. And that would be really cool. Now, do I think it can happen? It feels like it right now, but here's the 3 things that I believe need to occur just first. Number 1, of course, it's got to be a good game with a dialed sandbox. Super obvious, I know. But from looking at the multiplayer reveal trailer, no one here can say with certainty how the game feels. You can infer, you can think about it, you can obviously do all these things where you believe, right? Yeah, it looks pretty cool and this mechanic looks rad, but until you sit down and spend time grinding it, we won't know. There's sort of this thing that's always happened with Call of Duty. It comes out, people are stoked, and then it takes about a week or 2 of the grind before folks figure out the elements that are either a frustration or are awesome, right? It's always a gamble each year. Is it a great COD year or a rough COD year? You need to play a game in order to know how it feels. What may look cool in a 30-minute analysis, dissection, breakdown video of a brilliant mechanic in the game may feel terrible within like 20 matches of play, and you may go, wait, what were the designers even thinking? This thing is so frustrating after 50 hours of play, right? That's the same with Infinite. It must have a good game at its core with a dialed sandbox. And you can't predict that from a trailer. No amount of hype or great marketing can get you there. It needs to, at its core, be fantastic and be a lot of fun. The second thing is it has to garner streamer and content creator interest. We're living in 2021, where yes, large streamers can impact the outcome of a game's popularity. Overall, I do believe a good game can overpower that, always. But you do need streamer interest, and you need it to be dialed enough on day 1 that some of those big FPS streamers are enjoying it for multiple days. The worst thing that could happen for Infinite is on the week 1, lots of the big FPS streamers play it and start not enjoying certain things and put the game down, or very vocally say, until this changes or this changes, we can't, play this game any further. That can be disastrous because with each of these streamers comes a large community of players. It is no doubt that games these days really depend upon that element, right? And I'm not a streamer. I make YouTube videos. I like FPS games. I like Halo. But you can't deny the fact that Twitch has totally changed the way that games popularity happens. I don't want to put it all on that, and I know people have mixed emotions about it. I'm not saying I like it, okay? I'm just saying that's the way it is, you guys. That is the current paradigm here. So you're going to need consistent streamer and content creator interest in order for Infinite to succeed. And how does that happen? With number 3, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the support from the developer. Welcome to also 2021, where, oh yeah, games as a service is a thing. Halo Infinite multiplayer is going to be free to play, so this no doubt will probably be the biggest player base Halo has ever experienced if it's a good game. You got cross-play with the PC and the Xbox side of things. So it has the ultimate potential here for the biggest install base ever, period. Like, it's a free game to play. Now, how do you keep them playing? Hopefully with great content, new innovations, new maps, and things that are just continually evolving. I've kind of always wanted Halo to be kind of like a Counter-Strike. where the base mechanics, they get evolutions, but they don't take massive strides. They don't completely change the game to a totally new thing, and we get new maps, and you ultimately have a very, I don't want to say samey experience, because that's not really true. But sometimes it's good not to mess with the formula. If you really love the game Monopoly, and then you need to change it to add 18 different mechanics, is it really Monopoly at that point? And do the players still enjoy it? With Infinite, man, if that base sandbox is good, we need consistent maps and new modes and new ways to play the game and new, unlocks the whole 9 yards. If you played any game in the last 5 years, you get what I'm saying here, right? It's a pretty simple set of things to do. Good game, dialed sandbox, streamer and content creator interest, and that support. And yeah, feels like Halo can return. It feels like it definitely can. But I've also been in this spot before on YouTube. And I know a lot of my viewers have too, where you get super amped up for something and then it doesn't necessarily deliver. And I'm not even talking on Halo. Think about the gaming space as a whole. I was having to explain to an old coworker who was asking me about like the console and PC gaming space. Like, what's it like? How volatile is it? Is it a sure like win if these big developers are involved? And kind of having to explain to him like, no, man, the last 5 to 6 years has been crazy. Some of the worst stuff has come from gigantic budget games with humongous teams. And it's honestly sometimes like a dice roll, it feels like, with games, if it's going to deliver or if it's going to be a massive disaster. I think back to Cyberpunk, and it's like, that was the game I was most looking forward to so long. And then ultimately, you guys know how that story played out. It's a weird space for games. Now, I'm not saying that Infinite's going to be that. We get flights, we get to test it. Oh, speaking of the flights, you should sign up at haloinsider.com. I keep seeing on all the timelines, lots of hints from like the community manager people and then the other YouTubers like Kevin Coolx is making great content. Sounds like the flights may start really soon. So go to haloinsider.com to sign up. The more people who test it, the more feedback we can give and the better experience it can be on that first day. Seriously, man, I've been through quite a few Halo launches at this point. I want it to be good on day one. You impress the player base, you impress the content creator folks, then you're good, man. You've got enough momentum to carry it through the first 3 to 4 months. After that, good support, take over, and let that game do its thing. Let the community do what it does. And I have no doubt that Halo can return. You think about all the different types of people who play the game. Forgers, people who do machinimas, people who only do customs, people who are hardcore ranked players, people who are only BTB folks. There's so many sub-communities within Halo that if it gets this big player base, and if it's a good game, it's going to be just fine, man. And yes, I really, really hope Halo can finally sit in those top 3 rows of Twitch again consistently, and we no longer feel like we're off on those sidelines. What do you think, though, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think Halo could return? Why or why not? What factors need to happen? I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I am back in full force, by the way. More consistent videos, finally. It was a crazy, amazing time in my life. Very busy, and it stays busy, but I'm ready to dig my teeth into Infinite and other FPS games moving forward. But thanks for your patience. Thank you guys for the support over the years. Thanks for 160,000 subscribers. That's crazy. You all rock. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed and you're not subbed, definitely sub to the channel, and you can follow me over on Twitter at bbkdragoon. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you again very soon.